The PHNX Suns pregame show. I'm Lindsay. That's Gerald. That's Saul. That's Flex. What you guys giggling about over there?
Mike Tyson said he's giving up smoking weed so he can be irritable, so he can fight when he fights Jake Paul.
Jake Paul's in trouble, man.
Yo, he's dead.
I hope.
He's a dead man walking.
Yeah.
One could only hope. Well, not that type of a podcast, but a basketball podcast. The Suns will be taking on the Kings here in just about half an hour. And it's do or die, y'all. How you feeling? You chilling?
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, they know where they're at. They know the situation they put themselves into, and they got to handle their business.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Oh man, back surgery number 4 coming.
Oh my God, this guy!
Man.
All you did was wiggle a little bit.
Damn.
Yeah. It's a must-win for sure. Must-win for sure. They got to handle their business. This is a playoff game, and hope they get it done.
Just lock up the 7. At the worst, lock up the 7. You get 2 home games to make it into the playoffs, and I think everybody can feel decent about that.
Yep.
Outside of that, that's it. I'm just hoping and praying.
Yeah, well, we know exactly what needs to happen for the Suns to lock in 6 and or 7. So, Gerald, thank you for tweeting this out in such a we appreciate it. He said last night, with the Pelicans beating the Kings last night, here's what has to happen for the Suns to get the 6th seed. Either the Suns finish 2-0 and the Pelicans finish 1-1. That would get us the 6th seed. Or for the 7th seed, the Suns will finish 1-1 and the Pelicans finish 0-2.
Yes.
How confident are you guys feeling one way or the other? Because the Pelicans play the Warriors and the Lakers, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors tonight, Lakers on Sunday?
Yep.
I mean, I think like the worst that they can finish is 8th right now. So they will get 2 cracks at it no matter what. No matter what, they're in that 6 to 8 range. I think if they lose tonight and the Pelicans win, then 6 is out of the question, and you're looking at which of those 2 play-in spots you're competing for. But I do think the Suns have a good chance against the Kings tonight, as long as they remember the lessons from the first 4 meetings against this team, because this is crucial. This determines the tiebreaker with Sacramento, and they need to remember that the way that they won the 2 games of the 4 that they've beaten this team was by going small. It was with Kevin Durant at the 5, and I swear to God, if we see Drew Eubanks minutes, something has gone horribly wrong, because you cannot play traditional centers in this matchup. They completely turned the tide when they went small with KD at the 5. Go to that if you have to. Use Thad Young in the backup center minutes, and be prepared to pull Nurk if you absolutely have to, because we are in do or die time.
I just want to say this right now, and this is more for everybody else's mental health than it is mine. But I think you need to prepare yourself for Drew Eubanks minutes.
Come on, man.
It's going to happen.
Don't break my heart.
It's going to happen. Frankie V loves to just play around with shit, and you just know Drew Eubanks minutes. Come on up.
Come on. I'm hope so. On the one hand, I have reason to doubt, because we saw last game against the Clippers him put Royce O'Neal in the starting lineup over Grayson, which was the right move for that matchup. So we saw him make that tweak. We saw him put Thad over Drew Eubanks. So there's a chance that he's learning and that he's changing things up. But starting lineup for tonight, going back to Grayson with Royce, I felt like this was a good matchup for Royce to start.
Agreed.
And maybe Grayson start against the Timberwolves on Sunday, just matchup-wise. So
do you really have a lot of faith?
I don't know. I feel like Thad, I still have a little bit of faith, just because the game changed so drastically when they went small. If he doesn't see that and go to it with them needing these wins desperately, I don't know what else to say.
I'm gonna say this. I said this earlier today. If the Suns play Thad over Eubanks, they win this game easy. If they mess around and throw Eubanks back in there, we might be in trouble.
Yeah,
I really think it's as simple as that. Stick to what you know works. Don't get cute. Frankie V, I like that. So Frankie V, do what you got to do, man. Keep it simple. Play small. This team lost a lot of shooting. They got no Malik Monk. They got no Kevin Huerter. Last night, if you watched that game, it looked like they were going to get run out the damn state.
Yep.
It was like 31-11 to start. So jump on them early, handle your business, and hopefully we get some help from the Warriors tonight.
Well, handle your business.
Yes.
That's it.
I mean, especially with the Kings being on a tail end of a back-to-back, too, and you're more rested, like there's really got to win this game.
I'm not going to lie. Earlier today when I heard that De'Aaron Fox might not play, I was like, oh, man. The Suns are in trouble. I was like, please play. Please play.
That's where we're at.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a peek at the injury report real quick. On the Suns side of things, no one outside of Damion Lee who remains out. On the Kings side, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter are both out. But, you guys, we did get a little bit of an update about Damion Lee and how his injury he's had to deal with it and the progression from Dwayne Wankin on the road tonight.
Wanking?
Did I say it again?
Dwayne Wankin.
Maybe I just have a
Play the video.
Whoa.
Do I have
Dwayne.
a speech impediment?
Whoa.
God, Dwayne Rankin. Here's the video.
It was deemed as a meniscus surgery. Long story short, it was a root repair. So if you Google that, essentially my meniscus tore off the bone. So, life happens. You figure it out. You go from there. So it's not the standard. Everyone thinks 3 months, 6 months, much, whatever the time period is, the time period is. So, for me, it's just a matter of taking it day by day and knowing what it is, knowing where I am in my career, and trying to give my all to come back this year. And, we'll see where it goes from there.
So I watched this entire clip, and there's more to it. So if you guys want to see the whole thing, you can find it on Dwayne's Twitter account. But honestly, it sounds
Dwayne
Dwayne Rankin.
Okay.
There you go. Got it. It sounds like this was way worse than what anybody had anticipated coming into it, and I feel really bad for DB.
Well, obviously it is, because typically a meniscus doesn't take this long to heal, but it was a lot more severe. And listen, I mean, sometimes these things, meniscus, menisci? Is that the plural?
Meniscus.
Is that the plural?
I don't know.
Meniscuses?
Come on, Gerald would be the one who would know the best.
Okay. They can be finicky.
Yeah.
If not done right. When you're talking about a meniscus, they don't recover like your tendons do. Once you lose your meniscus, you lose it. And so you got to do other things in terms of like gel or other type of supplements to really cushion that cartilage in that knee. So it's just it's an unfortunate situation for him.
So the meniscus, listen, you nailed it. This Dr. Flex talking here. All right?
Oh, boy.
Flex MD.
I like that, Flex MD. I've been on that table too many times.
Update the Twitter bio.
So listen, he has a torn meniscus. People are going to ask, well, Karl Anthony Towns tore his meniscus a month ago. He had surgery. How's he back and Damien's been out all year? I've actually had people ask that question. The difference is there's two approaches with a meniscus. You can snip it, and when you snip it, you're removing that portion of your meniscus, and you're never getting it back. And then you can repair it. But when you repair it, it takes a lot longer to heal, because when they go in there and stitch it up, if you do something crazy, you could pop a stitch and you got to go back in there. So he had a complete repair, which makes sense. This is a guy that wants to play another 10 years. Now, Karl, on the other hand, just signed a max contract. So he got all the money in the world, and he decided to snip it and come back early. And now 2-3 years down the line, there may be a price to pay for that. When you snip your meniscus, is a dangerous thing. So it's the cushion in your knee. And they took a piece of it out for Karl, and for Damion, they repaired it. So there goes your Flex MD.
It sounded like it was something different. He's talking about literally ripping off the bone.
This was not the typical meniscus tear. This was
he had a little bit of patella.
This was a root meniscus tear, which is different. So he was saying it's not your typical 3 months, 6 months recovery. Like, it's longer than that. So that explains. Everybody's been asking, why is he still on the roster? All this different stuff. I can't answer that. But I don't think the Suns would cut a guy like that loose. They value what he brings to the locker room. And in the middle of that type of recovery, we saw what became of their 15th roster spot. It's not like they are finding an impact player by letting D. Lee go anyway.
Yeah. Also, it's just like
heartless.
That's a bad look.
It's tough. Yeah.
And I feel like it's bad
good.
juju to do that. Somebody was playing for you. I don't know.
Because we have all the good juju right now.
Well, we could be doing stuff that helps with that.
It might be a little better
on.
with a healthy D-League.
We've had, 54 years of bad juju?
Yeah, we've done a lot of bad things,
do.
Saul. We've done a lot of bad things.
We must have built a stadium on
we
like
have a lot of repenting to do.
on a bad plot of land.
I don't know.
Must have been like mass murderers or something like that.
Oh my gosh. A couple super chats here. We've got one from Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. They said, feels like a neutron star, maybe neutral, but then neutron stars typically turn into supernovas and yet still bisolar.
I have no idea what none of that means.
I don't know. I didn't watch
Thank you
Big
for
Bang
your
Theory.
super chat.
Psycho Blue sent us one as well. They said, seeing Frank talk so much about offense and shooting compared to before makes Basketball Cthulhu wonder if Kevin Young got low-key demoted after that Tuesday game.
I doubt it, and I think everybody, like Kevin Young has been brought in, obviously, to do the offensive side of things, but Vogel has emphasized a couple of times that Kevin Young is not just in charge of the offense. Like, he is a lead assistant on both ends of the court. So I know a lot of people want to pin the offensive struggles or the fact that the offense isn't better on Kevin Young, but it's kind of more of a group problem.
Well, when you come out and say those kind of things, the impression is that he's going to be the one that's ultimately in charge of the offense. And,
right.
And Vogel was brought in for defense, so you figure he's not going to have much to do on the offensive side of the ball. So, I mean, I understand where people get that perspective. Mm-hmm. I think ultimately it doesn't matter because they're all gone after this season, so it's all good.
Jesus. Oh, good.
Oh, man. Nostradamus. Yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at you, though. I got nothing to say. You nailed it.
You're probably not wrong, but
Probably not wrong.
Damn.
I mean, I said the quiet part out loud. What's wrong with that?
Aggressive.
Hey, listen, I hope I'm wrong. I hope these guys make a run in the playoffs. I think everybody can agree this is probably one of the least fun seasons of basketball, considering the talent that you have that we've seen in quite a while. Like, I don't get much enjoyment watching these games because I don't know what to expect. I don't like, the inconsistency game to game. It's almost feels like a chore to get through these games. And I think the fan base feels that way too. And it's just that ultimately that's always going to come back to the coaching staff. What did you do to change that up? And, whether they try to change things up or not, obviously the proof is on the court and it hasn't changed. Yeah.
I mean, not to be a company woman here, but I think this has helped this whole season. Like, if we didn't have this kind of community in this space to be able to laugh through the pain, I don't think I would want to participate in Suns basketball, to be completely honest with you.
This helps quite a bit.
It does.
This helps quite
That's a different community.
Listen, we
it's on Friday nights. We are at the local community center
at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, Wild Horse Pass Hotel and Casino. If you are local, there's still time to make it down here for our watch party. We're going to be hanging out here through the Suns game, and we'll be live from here as well for our post-game show. But we've already got a couple people trickling in, and for everyone asking where Espo is, he's like right there in between Saul and Gerald.
Yeah, he's on
You can see the fedora.
He's in the
right
witness
there.
protection program right there. With his fedora. He actually looks like that guy that tried to smuggle out the DNA from
Cuban
Jurassic
Pete.
Park. Yeah.
I was supposed to just put on a whole new vibe for the final few games here at
He's
the
ready for
seaside.
Cancun or Vegas.
He's ready for
That's
something.
what it looks like.
He's ready for something. Okay, listen, this has been a big topic of conversation over the last handful of days, both in our chat, in our Discord, and, of course, on Suns Twitter. A lot of people are saying the Suns don't deserve the 6th seed. How do you feel about this?
You deserve what you wind up getting in the standings. We can make all these arguments about expectations and what they deserve or whatever, and I get it, but you deserve whatever seed you get at the end of the day. That's what it's not about deserving. It's about what you earn.
As they said in elementary school, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
There you
There
go.
you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. We talked about how the Suns lost a lot of these games that should have been layups that we wish we can get back, like the Spurs 3. I tell you what, I don't think that no more. I'm glad we lost those 3.
Are you?
Hell yeah, because that just means you would have been 4-5 against either the Clippers or Mavericks and out in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it real. So sometimes the basketball guys find a way to kind of help you out without you knowing.
Let's hope that's what it is.
I'm hoping that's what it is because I'm looking at that Clippers-Mavericks series and I'm like, I can't believe any of those guys are happy that they bust their ass and had such a great season, and that's the reward.
Yeah, that's going to be a bloodbath. That first-round matchup. And then your reward is to get the Denver Nuggets in the second round possibly.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's going to be brutal.
Yeah.
That's going to be brutal.
But
hey,
that's
good
just
for them.
being in the West.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's really like a cakewalk
No.
when you're in the West.
Oh, I'd much rather
I'd rather be
Minnesota
on our
OKC,
side.
though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like, you got to get through some good teams inevitably if you want to win the whole thing.
We're definitely not in the position to be able to be picky and choosy.
No.
I mean,
Not at all.
like we can barely beat a Clippers squad without
That's
their
right.
superstars. Like
It's more like desperation, like we can match up with this team or we're going home in the first round. It's not picky and choosy. It's like, oh, shit, or, oh, good.
Oh, this one's so bad. I can live with this.
All right, well, let's take a peek at what the Suns are wearing tonight. They'll be rocking their white Association Edition jerseys, and the Kings will be rocking their deep purple Statement Edition jerseys. I actually kind of like these Kings ones. They're
Those
not
are
that
like the
bad.
half purple, half black ones.
It kind of feels like that, right? I guess I didn't realize that until I'm looking at them right now.
I can't tell if it's because I
It's their-
looked into the camera lights for too long.
yeah,
enough.
it's their Jekyll and Hyde edition.
Oh.
Fitting for the Suns.
Well,
Hey,
you know,
we
it's
should have had
boy,
those
you're right.
jerseys.
It's funny, though, because I talked to some Kings people today, and they were saying the exact same thing that we've been saying about the Suns. Like, they can beat anybody on a given night. They can lose to anybody on a given night. So for all the people talking about what the Suns deserve, every fan base feels this way about their team.
That's true.
If they're not performing, top 4 seed level. That's what it is.
Well, we just want more. Is that so much to ask?
No,
I mean,
the
my goodness.
difference is the Suns had much higher expectations than the Kings.
Okay.
That's,
Correct.
That's the difference.
All right, let's take a peek at what our friends over at the BetMGM Sportsbook app think about tonight's game. They have the Suns at a -5.5. You can get the money line for -210 right now if you want to get in on the action. But what are you guys putting your money on?
Oh, dear Lord. Please be good
Roll
to me
'em
tonight.
out.
I have Nurkic with 15, and I have Nurkic getting a double-double tonight. Bradley Beal over 16.5, Kevin Durant over 22.5, Booker over 25, Sabonis 25, 25 points and rebounds, and then De'Aaron Fox at 25. I feel like those are all gettable, but I've said that 89,000 times this year, and it didn't matter. So
You have.
let's just pray.
You got to hope Nurk can stay on the floor.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Flex?
I came so close to that miracle the other night.
Dude, I was really
were right
disappointed
there.
for
Yeah.
you.
I know. I love
was.
y'all. Y'all was rooting for me. I appreciate it. Came so close that I kind of put another one together.
Okay.
I got the Kings 4.5.
Okay.
To cover the spread 4.5. I got Book to score 20, KD to score 20, Beal to score 20, KD to get 5 rebounds, Beal to get 5 rebounds, Beal to get 5 assists, Book to get 5 assists. So complete games from the big three, and that's a plus 4,000. That'll get me off the Titanic and give me a chance.
All right.
That's a helicopter. Right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's
Yep.
no plus 20,000, but it'll do. It'll do. All right, so Espo and I are riding with some of the same things we have taken over the last 2 weeks. Espo has Devin Booker three-pointer exact method first field goal of the game at a plus 2,200.
That's going to hit. Damn it. That's going to hit. I feel it. Every single time he's put one out there that I felt, he's hit.
Okay.
He's going to hit this one.
Oh,
well,
boy.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it because I would hit
What do you
similar.
got?
I just took Book for the Suns' first field goal.
Oh, so y'all
like
both
I'm not
hit.
swinging for the fences like Espo is, even though I probably should. But I just have Book at first field goal for the Suns at a plus 290.
We need to talk about your use of the word similar in terms
Yeah.
of
Similar in the sense that if
Similar except
Espo
2,000
hits
away.
his- if Espo hits his, it's the same.
No, it isn't the same thing.
Action.
No,
it's
it's
the
not.
same
extent.
action, but the odds are just so much different.
Right, but if Espo hits his, I hit mine. But I could hit mine and Espo could lose.
Lindsay has already given up on winning the competition.
she
She
is.
just wants to be in the positive.
Yeah.
Is that so much to ask?
Best case scenario, Flex and I hit, and Espo can win. But as long as we finish above Lindsay for being so conservative this season, I can live with that.
Why are you guys such haters?
Hold on.
Second
I
to
have
last
money
game
in
of the
my
season,
account.
and she's over here with a
I
plus
have
290.
Yeah.
Lindsay,
That's
you have
more
a
than what
chance.
I normally do.
Honestly,
Gerald. What do you want from me?
I'm not worried about not having money and being negative in the last bet of the season because I still feel like I could still catch Lindsay.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
What's the leaderboard looking like here, Eric? What do we got?
A lot of dink and dunk.
So Espo has $483.50. I have $80.23. Sol is minus 51.24, and Flex is minus 137.51. So At least I have money.
You know what's funny is you might wind up winning the most number of bets.
Yeah.
But they're all 2-yard passes.
That's a
She won
great point.
41 bets this season and won $41.
32 checkdowns.
Haters.
I like the check down, G. That's a good analogy.
Hating ass hoes. I told you I'd do it.
She did. I was waiting.
You guys
Captain
served
checked
it
out.
up on
Oh,
a
shit. The
silver
Nuggets
platter for me.
lost?
All right,
really?
listen. While they
Yeah.
look at what's going on with the scoreboard, let me remind you guys, if you want to get in on the action, you can sign up for BetMGM using the bonus code PHNX. You place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through the BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $10, and you will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if the bet loses. You can check out the show notes for full details, and now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Bonus bets expire in 7 days. One new customer offer only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, North Carolina, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
For Espo, get stuffed Ontario. Is that who it is? Ontario?
Yeah, it's still Ontario.
Still Ontario?
And
Puerto Rico, I love you.
There you go. All
We're
right,
not
before
sorry.
we get into whatever you guys just saw on the internet, I just want to get your take on tonight's game. Who you got and by how much?
I have the Suns by 3.
Okay, I've got them by 5.
I got him by 4.
And Saul has them by 2.
Yeah.
Espo sent in a shrug emoji, so Espo has no idea how to feel about this one,
He's got a tie.
just like many of us do. All right, games to watch tonight. What'd you guys see? What were you looking at?
Oh, man. So the Nuggets lost.
Okay.
Yep.
So now the Timberwolves look like they're about to win, and OKC won. We're actually going into Sunday with a 3-way tie for first place in the West,
Yeah. So,
which is not good.
Yeah, I'll need to figure out what the tiebreaker is on their head-to-head records against each other. But, yeah, that was – the Nuggets were up by like 20 in the third quarter on the Spurs and lost by 1 to Wemby and the Spurs. So
Damn.
at least it wasn't just us, but it happened to us 3 times.
So there's a minute and
difference.
23 seconds left in the Lakers-Memphis game, and the Lakers are up 1. It's 117 to 116. And then the Pelicans and Warriors
Let's
game.
go, Warriors.
There are 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. The Warriors are up 17 to 8 right
Let's
now.
go.
Yes, and the Timberwolves right now are up 3 with, 40 seconds
40
left?
seconds, yeah.
So we've got a lot of games coming down to the wire here.
The one cool, interesting, I don't know. I feel like it's better. I would rather know by the end of the night, before our game is over, what happens in that Golden State Pelicans game.
Yes.
So we'll find out about 30 minutes before our game wraps up. And so maybe we'll have good news in the post-game show.
Hopefully. I mean, it's still – Suns are still going to need wins, but it would be nice to get that Pelicans loss tonight if they are going to lose one of their last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, if the Suns win tonight and the Pelicans lose, we'll be doing this show. The Suns will be back at 6.
Yep, and then
And
if
so,
they win their last
there you
game,
go.
They keep the 6.
Control your own destiny. If we can go to sleep tonight and come into this game on Sunday with the Suns at 6, controlling their own destiny, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. All right, we do have a super chat here from Leo. Thank you, Leo. They said, I'm sorry, Saul, but Eubanks will win Shamit of the Year. Also, no one should ever wear number 14. It is a cursed number. Look at what has happened to Eubanks and Shamit. Also, shout out to Frosted Flex,
Hey,
Frosted Flex.
which is Eric
White Noise, my guy.
behind the Mac. Lots of new nicknames there. I agree, though. I think number 14 should
Did
just
I
be
miss?
off the table.
They
at
wore the
this
same
point.
number?
Yeah.
They did. It was Shamit, Eubanks. Before that, it was Czech Diallo, DeAnthony Melton, Greg Monroe, Ronnie Price, Gerald Green, Luis Scola. Antonio McDyess was there for a year.
McDyess wore 14?
Jeff Hornacek was the last,
Legit.
successful, legit Sun.
So they should have just
I love
called it a
Gerald
day
Green, but
after
he was
that.
only here for 2 years. Shout out to the four-fingered assassin.
9.5, man. He was good.
He was.
Greg Monroe also wore it. Moose.
Yeah.
I mean,
Remember Moose?
Ban that
I
number.
liked Moose,
His
but not
voice
on the
was
Suns.
so great.
Yeah.
Like, I'll never forget him simply because of his voice. I felt like he should be doing
What'd it sound like?
voiceovers. It was just like a really
sound like,
deep,
Lindsay?
like good voice.
What'd it sound like,
I'm not
Lindsay?
gonna. You can
Come
look
on.
it
What'd
up.
it sound like, Lindsay?
No,
Come on,
he
do
just
it.
had a really
Do it.
good deep
Do it.
voice.
Do it.
No,
Do it.
no. The answer is No.
Lindsay doesn't take risks.
Gosh.
We know this.
Nope. Sure
Warriors
not.
up 19-8 with 4:52.
You can do tally, but you won't do
That's
the
different.
voice.
Tally is a cartoon, not a real-life human being. All right, well, everybody in the chat is feeling pretty good except for Eli. Michael has Suns by 20. Charles has Suns by 8. Ryan by 8. Ernesto by 6. Freddie by 11. Eli, you're killing us with the Kings by 5 in the chat. Don't put that juju out there.
Come on, Eli.
And Payday has Suns by 10 as well. Okay. Any final thoughts before we get out of here and go hang out with the homies here at Wild Horse Hotel and Casinos?
I hope that tonight is different because the last 2 games, the effort, the focus, the mental toughness hasn't been there, and I'm very curious if it's a matchup-dependent thing or if this is just what the Suns are now. So I hope that they prove me wrong and play with some damn fire against the team on the second night of a back-to-back.
I'm riding the juju. Last Friday we were here. We handled our business against the Timberwolves at this very location, if I'm right. So, yeah, I'm looking for another good Friday here at the Gila River Wild Horse Pass.
Fingers crossed. My last thought comes from Black Mason, who just sent us a $20 super chat and said, I'm anxious about the first 10 minutes of the game, so this is for a drink for each of you. Join me for a shot.
Let's go, Black Mason.
Which ultimately means that Gerald and I will be drinking on behalf of these two.
That's a fact.
Hey,
I'll
that
take
just
a soda.
means you can get a better shot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
even better
saying? You're
for us.
welcome. You're welcome.
2 for 1.
Thank you all for joining us for the pregame show. Like I mentioned, if you're local, there's still time to come hang out with us out here at Wild Horse Pass Hotel and Casinos. So get your butt down here. But if not, as always, meet us right back here for the postgame show. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.